Hello friends and book babes, welcome back to the channel. We are continuing the Magnolia Parks universe by doing dedicated reading vlog to the final installment of Magnolia's part, specifically Into the Dark. In my last video, where I did a bunch of bookish things, I finished Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. I gave that one 5 stars, but I also just really enjoyed Daisy and Christian's universe a little bit more. So I don't really have high hopes for Into the Dark, but I do have high hopes that it will make me cry my eyes out. So looking forward to that. It is currently like 3 p.m. on a Sunday. I've probably have read like 30 pages sporadically throughout these 2 weeks, but it's time to get down to business and really just see if Jessa can make me like this couple. That's what we gotta see, okay? I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out, I guess. I don't want to go into too much of a tangent before I start even reading, so let's actually read a big chunk and then figure this out. Just know that Jessa in Long Way Home was starting to make me actually like them, and then she completely ruined it in the hotel scene. That's like, I think 200 pages in or whatever. And then she just kept ruining it. Like, girl, you were doing the job you wanted, which was to get us to like them, and then you ruined it. Just know I'm really upset because from the way that Long Way Home ended, my ship that I was rooting for in my brain is never gonna happen, because I really liked the idea of Henry and Bridget. I really liked that idea. I don't know if anyone else had that idea or if it was just me, but I really kind of liked them a lot. Let's just get into the destruction of it all. I look like an egg. Hold on. I have hair. So it's Monday now. And I think the last clip I said, oh, it's like 3 p.m. on a Sunday. I'm gonna spend the whole time reading Into the Dark. Guess who didn't even think about that book until like 9 p.m. and was gonna get the strength to get the camera out and tell you that, and then start reading at least for an hour just to fall asleep. That's actually really crazy of me, because I'm the type of person where I would consider going to bed at 11 early. So the fact that I fell asleep at 9 p.m., that was crazy. I made up for it at work. If you're my boss, look away, okay? But during downtime, I actually read almost 100 pages. I'm on page 111, and I think I started at page 30. I have to say, why is this 700 pages? That's really all I have to say. Because why are we 100 pages in and I feel like nothing's happened? Like, we're tiptoeing and like learning different things and like people's trauma responses to what happened. And so I'm liking the insight on that, the like subtlety of it. But we don't need to be that subtle to where this book is 700 pages and nothing truly has happened in the span of 100 of them. At the most, I feel like it should be 500, not 7. That reveal, though, of what BJ is keeping from Magnolia, kind of crazy, kind of insane. I was always very indifferent towards Magnolia's dad because we didn't really see him much, but since we didn't see him that much, I understood why Magnolia didn't really care for him or respect him. My God! That man, he might be worse than BJ, I fear. I'm finally 30%. That was scary. I'm about 30% into the book now. It's taken a few days to get to that, which I'm very annoyed with, but I'm just not into this book. I'm not into it. I don't know what else to say. I am so happy to see Daisy because she is the first bit of entertainment I have felt since reading this book. And so I'm only like, I think about 220 pages in out of 700. So I don't know. I just feel like this is one of those books that I want to read, but it's gonna take me forever to read. And we can't afford that because we got it off of Libby, and Libby's gonna take it away in like 5 days. So I need to get it together. But the main thing I need to say right now is with the way Long Way Home ended, I'm just trying to figure out, why did Jessa decide to do that? Because right now, at least 30% in, I feel like it was truly just a shock factor type of scenario instead of an actual character development and moving the plot along and like a good strategic thing to do. It truly right now in this current time of where I'm at in this book feels just like shock value. And she kind of got me, because if it wasn't for the ending of Long Way Home, I probably would have given it like 3 stars. That ending made me bump it to 4. You know, giving such Wattpad vibes of when you just ruin the main character's life to trauma bond her to the love interest. And I know what I'm talking about because I literally wrote a story like that when I was like 14. Like, that's what it's giving, and that's probably why I don't like it right now. I don't know. Obviously, only being 30% in, can't really expect too much character development, but I feel like we should at least see something. Like, so far, I feel as though the last 200 pages I've read, you could have cut out like a good 100. Literally half of what I've read could have been deleted, I think. And I'm also getting really tired of Magnolia in her inner monologue asking me a question. This isn't YA. Don't ask me anything. I don't exist right now. Why do you keep asking me, don't you think? What do you think? Like, you are not Dora the Explorer. Everybody, let's go. Get out of my face and ignore me, please. Like, I'm just not into it right now. I'm not. I know Daisy Hates is my favorite of the series, but at least with the other Magnolia Parks books, I've at least enjoyed them and been interested in them, and it maybe took me like a week to read because they're thick. This one has taken me, literally, I've had this book for 21 days. Almost. That's how long I get it on Libby. And they're going to take it away in 5 days. So, like, it's just a struggle. The way people reacted to this book and their reading blogs of it, I was prepared to be in shambles, to be in tears every 5 minutes. Not one tear has come from my eyeballs, I tell you that right now. And that's probably the most disappointing part. Hey friends, so I just remembered that I have Spotify Premium. I used to have the student discount, and so it didn't really count towards this, what I'm about to say. But now that I have just the regular basic premium, I just remembered that I can listen to a lot of audiobooks for free with my premium subscription. I think they give you like 12 hours a month that you can read. And I went to see if Magnolia Parks was on their premium, and it is. We're about to freaking finish this damn book. Okay, we're gonna do everything we can. I'm on chapter 32, and we're gonna go on a walk, a little hot girl walk. We're gonna walk as long as we possibly can and see how far we get into it. Spotify is saying me being on chapter 32 is that there's like 14 hours left, but I do read it at almost like 3 times speed, so that's probably not accurate, and it better not be. Hopefully this helps me freaking get through it, and maybe me listening to it will make me like it more. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, I am back from my walk. I almost did 3 miles. My goal was to do 4, but I had hit the 1 hour mark and I was like, that's enough. I feel like usually when I walk and listen to an audiobook, I get through like 20% of the book, which I did. I was gonna I was literally gonna say that this is taking forever, even in audiobook form, but no, I was at like 30 something percent, and now I'm at 51%. That means I'm on page 365. See, that's just ridiculous. With everything that's happened, that's just stupid, okay? I understand wanting to like see how the parents are doing and stuff and all that jazz, but 350 pages worth, not necessary. But I said 200 pages in, I'm saying almost 400 pages in. Half of this doesn't need to be here. One of my pet peeves is when people coddle others, and I feel like BJ does that a lot with Magnolia. I know that there's a lot happening and stuff, and you can't really speed the process of that, and I get that, for sure. But this is also a book. And it's also the 3rd book in a series. So it's like, there's no need for this book to be that freaking long when time jumps exist, you know? Like, I just feel like I would be having a much better time if this book was 400 pages. At first I said 500 pages max, now I'm like 400. Freaking 400. Because how am I halfway in? And everything that's happened, I don't really care about that much. Like the reveal of what's going on with her dad or whatever was interesting, but not interesting enough to stay on it for as long as we have. And I just don't care. I don't care about him, okay? I do not give a crap. There's just too many characters for you to make me care about everybody's story. I can't remember who the hell is who, what the hell they do, what story they are for. Like, we literally met an ex-boyfriend of Magnolia's that like cheated on her, and I'm like, who are you? I don't remember you at all. I just feel like Jessa needs an editor, and I'm sure she has one since she's in the publishing industry, since she publishes books. But she needs more. She needs a better one, or she needs another one. Only chapter this entire time, that whole hour, I was walking. And then those good 10 minutes of me doing my book journaling. The only chapter I was there was like 2 chapters where I was like into the tea. And that was like when BJ was lying to her about something and she freaks out. Oh, her mom's birthday party scene, that was interesting too. And then when we met up with one of my favorite characters, y'all already know who my favorite character is. When we saw Julian, that chapter was great. I liked that chapter a lot. Listening to it did make me remember that they're British. Like, I've always known that they're British, but in my brain it's like I'm not envisioning like a British accent when they're speaking, you know? So the audiobook, them being British, helped me be like, oh yeah, they have a British accent. Oh my god, guys, I forgot to mention this, and I can't believe I forgot. I wasn't vlogging when I read A Long Way Home, but there was something. There was something that was said in there that gave me the biggest ick I've ever received in a book. And that was in BJ's point of view, and they were talking about back in the day when they were like little teenagers and he couldn't keep his paws off of her when she got back home from like a vacation or something, and his response to that was literally, you were brown, you know how I get when you're brown. No, because why would you say that? Out of all things, why would you say that? Giving fetishizing black women came back into my memory is because A few chapters ago, before I was reading the audiobook, they were on a boat. And in BJ's head, he was like, Magnolia was getting browner and browner. Can we not just say tan? Can we not just say darker? I don't know. Just the fact that in Long Way Home he basically says that her being darker turns him on. So me knowing that in his brain, I knew what he was insinuating when he was like, oh, us being on this boat, she was getting browner and browner. And as a black and brown woman, that just didn't sit right with me. I don't know about everybody else, but yeah, that gave me a major ick. I did not enjoy that. I'm not reading too much into it other than that was just weird and I don't like it. And that's about it. But I'm surprised I didn't mention that earlier. But yeah. From the first book, I truly thought if she was going to do like a new series, it was going to be with Henry, not with Christian. I'm glad we got Christian because I love Christian. But like Henry was right there. Is it because it would have been boring because he's so chill and just the greenest flag out of all of them? That might be what it was. I don't know. But the fact that his whole plot, his whole arc, his whole character thing was him being in like a love triangle, as if not every freaking character in this whole goddamn universe isn't also in a love triangle and love squares and love freaking hexagons. Like, wow, so freaking original. I am so glad to hear that Henry's in one of those too. He's not left out, I guess. Just for it to like fall off, so it was just very anticlimactic, I have to say. When it comes to Magnolia's father, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Ah, I hate that man. I hate that man. He is the worst character to ever exist, I think. At least in this universe. Oh my god. What the hell is wrong with that man? And guess what? I'ma hate Magnolia's mom too if she doesn't get on that ass. I'll tell you that right now. It's time for you to step up, ma'am. It's time for you to step the fuck up and throw hands. It's time to throw hands. If not only that, it's time. It's time, actually. You know, that conversation, though, that BJ had with her to make her feel better is making me come around on BJ more. I'm not as indifferent with him now. I'm starting to feel that love. I'm starting to believe it. So that's nice. I am also very tired, sick and tired of the trust issues, the trust issues, and this back and forth of, is BJ cheating? Is he did? And then him being upset that people are thinking the worst of him automatically, even though he does still lie to her, even if it's just like random crap. Maybe be a truther. Maybe that could help your case a little bit more, is if you stop hiding things from her and coddling her. But I'm glad that that scenario got them to finally go to therapy. So, there is hope. Literally chapter 50, and they're barely starting to go to therapy. How ridiculous is that? How ridiculous is that? Anyways, let me get back to the BS. I have finally finished the book. Don't mind me, I'm doing a hair mask, okay? And you know what? What I said 200 pages in stands after finishing the entire book. And that is that half of this, more than half of this, did not need to be in here. This is the definition of this could have been an email. And she had the audacity to make this 700 pages. That alone, the pacing of this book was so horrendous. It was the worst pacing I've ever read in my life, I think. It was so repetitive, so unnecessary. The things that happened in Long Way Home truly still feel like it was trauma bait to get you to read the next book, because there was truly no reason to do what she did in Long Way Home, because it didn't truly drive the story forward. It didn't make any character development happen. Nothing. That did nothing to this story. 500 pages was just really about her parents' drama. As if we gave a damn about her parents to begin with. I understand diving into what happened, like how her parents are dealing with stuff. I understand that. But 500 pages? That's crazy. I don't know. I don't understand. Who is her editor? That's what I want to know. Who is Jess's editor? And who's her editor? Like, does she have two different editors for Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates? Because Daisy Hates is usually a lot better paced and a lot shorter than the Magnolia Parks stuff. I only enjoyed the last 100 pages and those like 3 scenes I told you about yesterday. That is it. This book could have been a novella. At the most, this book could have been 300 pages max. The more I was reading, the more I'm like, yeah. Instead of 500 pages, this could have, instead of 700 pages, it should have been 5. Instead of 500, it should have been 4. Now I'm at 3. If we're gonna make it a full book, it should have been maybe 300 pages. But honestly, you could have gotten away with it being a novella, and you didn't have to do what you did in Long Way Home, okay? Now, if you were gonna do what you did in Long Way Home, I don't understand how the entire book couldn't have been them in Asia doing the trip, and it's like this big old like summer thing that they decide to do to really heal and like grieve properly, because everyone that loves this book is like, oh, the growth and the grief and the this and the that. I was crying every 5 seconds. That didn't happen with me. That did not happen with me. I see trauma, but I don't see like people actually going through the grieving process. I just saw the beginning trauma of it, but no one actually like grieving and healing from it, if that makes sense. So there's no reason for it to be 700 pages if that's the case. That's my thing. This length of this book, I can't get over it, guys. I can't get over it. 700 pages? Trash. It's trash. I'm sorry. It's trash. It's trash. There was no, I would have liked this so much more if it was 300 pages. The little trip that Bridget planned to go to Asia, I think Southeast Asia specifically, you all should have just done that and had that be the entire book, or like a good 50% of the book. That was the most interesting part. And then Daisy and Julian stuff. Those were the most interesting parts of this entire book. And it was the least fleshed out on. That's my problem, is this was 700 pages and I feel like nothing was really fleshed out. That is my problem, and I'm getting mad. I'm getting so mad right now. And it's the 3rd book for Magnolia. There are 2 others that are over 500 pages. And I feel like Jessa gave us so many like little crumbs of other things that these characters dealt with and like were having to cope with and really heal from, like all the things that Magnolia also was dealing with that we didn't really ever know until this book. It just, I don't know. It was dragged out so much for no reason. Thank God for the audiobook. Thank you, Spotify, for letting me listen to it, because if I didn't, I don't think I could have finished it. Not on time for Libby. Definitely not on time. This would have taken so much longer. I think I'm going to give it 2 stars. And that's crazy. That's insane. As much as I don't care for Magnolia and BJ, I've never given any of these books less than 3 stars. So I'm pretty disappointed. However, since I'm being really negative, let's give a positive. The positive is, if you watched my last vlog when I was reading Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, I said one of my main qualms, why I prefer Daisy and Christian's story, is I genuinely feel like Daisy and Christian are in love, while with Magnolia and BJ, it feels like the author is just telling me that they're in love, and so I should just believe it, but I don't like feel it. Like, I don't feel their love. This book, especially like the last like good 50% of it, I did feel that they actually love each other. So that's good. I actually believe in their love this time compared to the other books. I don't necessarily ship them, but I don't hate them the way that I did in the other books. So that's good. There's at least that to hold on to. I don't think the last chapter was really necessary. Like, I get that they probably want that and everything, especially with their history, but I don't know, it just seemed kind of soon and kind of just thrown together. I don't know. The last 100 pages were the best part, but that it ending that way was kind of weird. And I get that there's gonna still be Daisy Hate books, and we're probably gonna see Magnolia and BJ like in the distance or whatever. So that's probably why it's still like up in the air. But I don't know. That ending was kind of just like, okay. It was cute. It was cute. I liked the last 100 pages. If you had the last 100 pages, just flush that out, stretch the last 100 pages out a little bit more, and I don't know. There's just a lot going on with that book, but at least I finally believe in BJ and Magnolia's love. At least there's that. Little crumbs we got of what the next Daisy Hates book is gonna become of, I'm really excited for, though. Last point I want to make. In Long Way Home, I hate that trope. Someone just got hurt, someone's life was just in danger, so now let me propose. I don't like that. I just don't. I like whenever they do like, oh, the person got hurt and now this person that was mad at them came to their senses and is like, I'm so sorry for being mad at you about this and let's just work this out and be together. Like, I like that. But full on proposing, not my cup of tea. But thank you guys for watching and tagging along on this vlog. If you've read this book and this series, let me know y'all's thoughts, because I know it's deeply loved. So I know I'm the minority in this for not liking it. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. But yeah, follow me on my socials, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Meet me on the street lights. Meet me where the lights fade out. Tell me what it feels like.